first chance of the game. It's special. What a goal. Everybody talked about it.
Premier League clubs ranked on African Cup of Nations. AFCO and Impact. Arsenal maximises advantage. Sunderland will need all their momentum to avoid their season being African Cup of Nations, while Manchester United are sure to suffer too. But Arsenal are unaffected and Leeds may profit. The Africa Cup of Nations 2025 takes place in Morocco, starting on December 21st, with the final on Sunday, January 18th. Here's how the tournament interferes with the Premier League schedule. Any players called up are obliged to do their national service from now, with those representing countries who go deep perhaps missing as many as 6 league matches. The AFCON group stage concludes on December 31st, so any players from nations that fail to make the knockout stages could return for match week 20, over the weekend of January 3rd and 4th. The FA Cup third round is scheduled for the weekend of January 10th, by which time AFCON will be down to the quarter-finalists. The Champions League and Europa competitions take a break throughout the duration of AFCON, but recommence in the week beginning Monday, January 8th, the day after the final. Noah Sadiki, Dr. Congo, Reynaldo, Mozambique, Chemstein Taubi, Morocco, Bertrand Traoré, Burkina Faso, Habib Diarra, Senegal, Arthur Masuaku, Dr. Congo. Sunderland might need all the positive momentum from a flying start and the derby win to get them through AFCON, since the 6 they are set to lose have been good for 52 Premier League starts this season. The half dozen are all guaranteed to miss a trip to Brighton and the visits of Leeds and Manchester City. Manchester United, 3 players: Brian Mbeumo, Cameroon; Ahmed Diallo, Ivory Coast; Noussair Mazraoui, Morocco. Ruben Amorim is said to be thinking the unthinkable to cope without the right side of his team. All 3 will definitely miss Villa, Newcastle and Wolves, while any United player reaching the semi-finals will also be absent for the derby. Fulham, 3 players: Alex Iwobi, Nigeria; Calvin Bassey, Nigeria; Samuel Chukwueze, Nigeria. Iwobi has started every game and Bassey is only 1 behind, so both will be missed. Chukwueze has come off the bench 9 times. All will miss clashes with Forest and West Ham, with Marco Silva secretly hoping Nigeria replicate their World Cup qualification. Burnley, 3 players: Lyle Forster, South Africa; Axel Tuanzebe, Dr. Congo; Hannibal Magebri, Tunisia. The Claridge trio will miss clashes with Bournemouth, Everton and Newcastle during the group stage. Hannibal would have missed the first anyway due to suspension. Everton, 2 players: Iliman Ndiaye, Senegal; Idrissa Gueye, Senegal. Everton's Senegalese duo were ever present in the Premier League before Gueye slapped James Tarkowski at Old Trafford. Adam Asnou was left out of the Morocco squad, which makes little difference to David Moyes either way. West Ham, 2 players: El Hadji Malik Diouf, Senegal; Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Dr. Congo. Nuno will have to do without both fullbacks for games against Manchester City, Fulham and Brighton at least. Brentford, 2 players: Dango Ouattara, Burkina Faso; Frank Onyeka, Nigeria. Ouattara's absence comes as a blow for Keith Andrews, while Onyeka has come off the bench 6 times. The Carabao Cup quarter-final at Manchester City will be the first game the pair miss. Nottingham Forest, 2 players: Ibrahim Songore, Ivory Coast; Willy Bolly, Ivory Coast. Songore will be a miss, but Bolly hasn't featured for Forest in the Premier League this season. Wolves, 2 players: Emmanuel Agbadu, Ivory Coast; Tawanda Chirewa, Zimbabwe. Wolves received a rare boost of sorts when it emerged they would lose only to players when it seemed they would wave off 5. Marshall Munetsi sits out the Zimbabwe's campaign due to injury, while Jackson Chachua and Talua Rokadare were omitted from Cameroon and Nigeria squads. Crystal Palace, 1 player: Ismaila Sarr, Senegal; Losing Sarr is a blow, especially for the Carabao Cup quarter-final against Arsenal. Oliver Glasner could have lost. Kristantasuch was left out by Nigeria, while Chadi Riyad and Cheikh Doucoure have been crocked. Liverpool, one player, Mohamed Salah. Egypt. Salah's call-up might have seemed a blessing before an uneasy accord was reached between the striker and Arne Slot. He'll miss Spurs, Wolves, Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal and Burnley if Egypt reach the semi-finals. Brighton, one player, Carlos Baleba. Cameroon are generally fancied to make the last 8, in which case the Seagulls will be without their £100 million rated midfielder against Sunderland, Arsenal, West Ham, Burnley and Manchester City. Manchester City, 2 players, Omar Marmoush. Egypt, Rayan Aït-Nouri, Algeria. Almost business as usual for Pep, since neither Marmoush or Aït-Nouri are currently in his best 11. Tottenham, 2 players, Pape Matar, Senegal, Yves Bissouma. Mali. Bissouma is yet to play this season, so no biggie there. Senegal are fancied to go far, so Sarr could sit out 7 games, including the Champions League clash with Borussia Dortmund 2 days after the AFCON final. Aston Villa, 1 player, Evan Gessend. Ivory Coast. The £30.5 million summer signing has featured in 11 of Villa's Premier League games so far and seemed to be finding his feet with a goal and an assist in his last 2 appearances in all competitions. Bournemouth, 0 players. Amin Adli was omitted by Morocco, while Amdoni Iraola must have been secretly chuffed that Gunner completely in qualifying, so Antoine Semenyo can stick around. Chelsea, 0 players. Chelsea will lose none of their 427 players, but during AFCON, they face opposition mostly unaffected too. Only Fulham will feel it, and they could get their players back if Nigeria make a balls up of the group stage like they did their World Cup qualifying campaign. Arsenal, 0 players. Likewise, Arsenal are unaffected, and they might profit against Everton, without Guy and Ndiaye, when they meet on AFCON's opening weekend. Newcastle, 0 players. Yom Wissa was left out of the Congo squad, having failed to prove his form or fitness after his recent layoff. Alan Shearer will be pleased. Leeds, 0 players. Half of Leeds' 6 fixtures during AFCON come against the top 3 most affected sides, Sunderland, Manchester United and Fulham. It's all coming up, Fark.